You know what? I want to apologize for yesterday. It was a pretty boring video. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to talk about things that are a lot more uplifting. I mean, where do I even start other than by saying Happy Friday, everyone? Um, and my low, my high, my act of kindness. I'll say my low was yesterday's video. I mean, listen, I wouldn't say I'm not proud of the video. I'm proud of every video I've ever made. But I will admit, I can imagine why some people would have found yesterday's video to be rather boring. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to take a little, amp up the energy. I'm going to make it awesome. And there are some things I can talk about to do just that. Let's get to my high. Actually, you know what my high is? I feel recharged. Like, maybe I guess it was a good thing I made yesterday's video pretty boring. Because now I feel like I definitely feel recharged, rejuvenated, re-energized, ready to go. Yet also relaxed. And yeah, I think I know what to do from here. And what's my act of kindness? I held the door for someone yesterday. Okay, so let's get started. Actually, I'm going to need to take out my computer for this one. Because, okay, let's get started with the obvious. The Buffalo Sabres won last night. All right. The Buffalo Sabres are quickly becoming like the little team that could. I say little. Hockey's actually really big in Buffalo. Not quite as big as, say, like, Canada, but still pretty big in Buffalo. So shout out to the Buffalo Sabres for winning last night. And next off, shout out to all 32 NFL teams. The draft was last night. Here's the thing, I've been so busy lately that, unless I find any kind of time to seek it out, I don't really know much about, what's going on in the off season for the NFL. And I guess it is rightfully so. As soon as football starts back up in, August, September, it pretty much consumes, a lot of my thinking and energy for, up until, February of the next year. So, taking a little break from, thinking about or talking about all things football, it's nice. And it has been nice. Don't get me wrong. I love the sport of football. I really do. I miss the fact I miss being able to watch it. But, listen, between college football and the NFL, I definitely had my fill for a good while. I know when enough is enough. And you know what? By the time football starts back up again, I'll be ready to watch it again with full gusto. Let me make sure I get this right. So if I can just okay. So I wanted to make sure I got all the teams. Oh shoot. My Cowboys had 2 picks. Sweet. Okay, so the Raiders got Fernando Mendoza from the Indiana Hoosiers, who just won the national title. Jets got David Bailey. Cardinals got Jeremiah Love. The Titans got Cardinal Tate. Giants got Everett Reese. Chiefs got Mansour Delane. Commanders got Sonny Styles. Saints got Jordan Tyson. Browns got Spencer Fano. Giants. Wait. Do the Giants have? Okay, no. Like, man, a bunch of teams with like multiple picks in this round. Holy cow. Um, okay, so uh, yeah, for the 10th pick, the Giants had Francis Maui Goa. The Cowboys had Caleb Downs. Go Cowboys. The Dolphins had Caden Proctor. Rams had Ty Simpson. Ravens had Olivavaga Lone. The Buccaneers had Reuben Bain. The Jets had Kenyon Sadiq. The Lions had Blake Miller. Vikings had Caleb Banks. The Panthers have Monroe Freeling. The Eagles got Makai Lemon. Steelers got Max Ehien Acker. Yes. I'm probably going to get a lot of these names wrong. I apologize. The Cowboys got Malachi Lawrence. The Browns got Casey Concepcion. Okay. Bears got Dylan Thieneman. Texans had Caleb Rutledge. Dolphins had Chris Johnson. Patriots had Caleb Lomu. Chiefs had Peter Woods. Jets had Omar Cooper. Titans had Kendrick Folk. And the Seahawks got Jadarian Price. Okay. So, yeah, shout out to all those teams who had picks in the draft. I mean, listen, every time the draft comes, I've been trying to make an effort of saying, listen, these guys made it to the NFL. I really don't believe, personally, I don't believe in the thing of a bust. I mean, they made it to the NFL. You achieved a dream that thousands, if not millions, of young men want to be able to do. And you achieved it. Like, that already makes you awesome in my book. I mean, at that point, obviously I would hope that every single player who gets drafted has a good career, sure. For the most part, this really should be how they make a living. For now, anyway. Until they retire and, get a job elsewhere. But I really do hope for all their success. Okay. Now, what else? What else was I going to talk about? Right. So, saw two recent trailers I wanted to get over, and here's the thing. One trailer I did see a little while ago. I didn't really feel like I needed to talk about it. In fact, for all intents and purposes, it's probably still too early to talk about it. Even though it's coming in just over a month away. It's Rick and Morty Season 9. And I also saw the trailer for Clayface. I'll do Clayface first because Rick and Morty definitely needs should be second because that's actually what I'm more looking forward to. Oh, actually, I'm looking forward to Clayface too. But the big reveal about Clayface is chronologically, James Gunn announced that Clayface was going to be the first movie in the DC universe. Chronologically, that is. I mean, yes, we're getting Supergirl later this month, and Superman last year introduced audiences to the DCU. But chronologically, Clayface will come first. Which, this sort of thing hasn't been done. When the MCU did it, they did Iron Man first, but, Captain America was supposed to be first chronologically. So this really isn't anything new. What is new about it is, rather than have, an action movie be chronologically your first film like Captain America was, Clayface really is looking more into a horror, which, makes sense. Both Marvel and DC have always had elements of horror in them. So it's not really surprising, but I would say it could stand to be a little bit more explored. And the fact that Clayface is coming out near Halloween, that actually is pretty cool. Where was I? Right. So, if you don't know the story of Clayface, Shoot, who is Clayface's real identity? Basil Carlo. Yeah, that's is was originally an actor named Basil Carlo, known for his charmingly good looks and usually playing the heel in movies or the villain. But he gets in a very originally it was Basil Carlo, but there have been several people who've had the mantle of Clayface in terms of depending on who's writing it. But anyway, he gets in an accident, needs surgery to repair, his face, and these crooked scientists have this drug and operation that can fix him, and it does, but his face becomes all melty and it affects his entire body. He can transform into anyone. He can turn anything into a weapon sometimes. Yeah. What's interesting about Clayface to me is, Clayface is a member of Batman's Rogues Gallery, which means in this movie they are going to have to reveal the fact that this movie that is taking place in Gotham City at least. I don't know if James Gunn and the DCU will actually go full throttle and just reveal who Bruce Wayne is. Maybe they will. They could probably do something like that, like an end credit sequence, I suppose. But yeah, Clayface definitely looks terrifying. It does. Hold on. Look it up here. Okay, so other people who've been Clayface, Matt Hagen, Preston Payne, Sandra Fuller, Lady Clay. There's been Cassius Payne, Clownface, Johnny Williams. Okay. Hold on. Okay, it was Matt Hagen in Batman the Animated Series. Okay. Alright, so they'll probably do either Basil Carlo or Matt Hagen for the Clayface movie coming out. But yeah, it looks interesting. I think I'll definitely keep an eye on it listen, it's just late April now. It's not coming out until late out. It's literally let's see, May, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, 6 months from now. We can relax. But what's coming out in a lot less than 6 months from now, but just a little over 1 month from now, Rick and Morty season 9. You know what? I will say that I am listen, if my videos in the past have been any indication, I do love Rick and Morty. I do. I definitely went into it with apprehension. And for those of you who haven't heard this story, when Samurai Jack came back in 2017, on a night when they were going to premiere another new episode of the final season of Samurai Jack, Adult Swim did their yearly April Fool's Day prank and played the first episode of season 3 of Rick and Morty over and over and over again, which was great, but I want to see Samurai Jack here. But, that aside, I love Rick and Morty. I do. I can't wait for season 9. I really only have 2 questions going in, though. Because whether we realize or not, there really is an overall arcing story for Rick and Morty, which, for all intents and purposes, kind of did come to a conclusion in season 7 when Rick killed Rick Prime, the one who killed our Rick's wife, not just in his universe, but across all of existence. So it's kind of hard to, determine. I mean, that was actually my concern going into season 8, but it turns out there are still a few things, a few loose ends need to be tied up. I mean, Rick coming to terms with the fact that his one remaining memory of his wife, he had to let that go. Not to mention, at the end of season 7, Morty had to come to the conclusion, at some point, he's going to have to not have Rick in his life anymore. I mean, I don't know if that's what they were going for, but that's how I interpreted it. And not to mention, well, I could say more, but I think I'd be spoiling for those who haven't seen it yet. Especially the end of season 8. But I'm really excited for Rick and Morty season 9 coming out. I do. Now, I said there were 2 things I was concerned with. The first one I already just talked about in regards to where do they go from here. But the other thing is, at the end of the trailer, it's got, Rick saying, Rick and Morty season 9, they've broken the fourth wall a bunch of times on the show. That's nothing new. But Rick and Morty season 9, only an indefinite more to go. Rick drinking out of the flask. Here's the thing. Unless something happened recently, this is going to be the penultimate season of Rick and Morty. For those of you who don't know, after season 3 of Rick and Morty ended, Adult Swim made a deal with Dan Harmon and then Justin Roiland to give us 70 plus more episodes and 10 seasons altogether. Basically, we already have seasons 1, 2, and 3, 10 seasons, 70 episodes, or basically we're getting 10 episodes a season from season 4 onward. And that's what we have been doing. If this is season 9, we'll reach 60 of those episodes at the end of season 9. Meaning there's one episode left. Meaning there's one season left. If there was some sort of deal that Adult Swim made with Dan Harmon, at this time I certainly don't know what it is. I mean, I definitely hope Rick and Morty, at the end of the day, this is Dan Harmon's baby. It is. The story should end on his terms and no one else's. So if we wind up getting, something after Rick and Morty season 10, which, again, at this moment of time, as far as I know, as of this moment, I don't know if anything's going to be happening after season 10. I'm pretty sure season 10 is going to end. The series of Rick and Morty, that is. I'd be really cool to see more. I really would. But if Dan Harmon really does want to end it after season 10, we gotta respect the man's wishes. I'm a firm believer in, creators of properties and shows, having final say in what happens. I mean, believe me, there have been plenty of times where that doesn't happen at all. I'm really glad, though, for the most part, it looks like Dan Harmon has been very fortunate in Adult Swim letting him do what he wants to do with this. I mean, listen, it's usually about a year and a half wait between seasons of Rick and Morty, give or take. Come to think of it, I can't. When did season 8 of Rick and Morty end? Because season 9 is going to start on May 25th, literally over a month from now. Hold on. Um, oh, wow. Okay. Never mind. Evidently, I'm not very smart because... Hold the phone. Okay. Looks like Adult Swim and it looks like the people of Rick and Morty finally have a rhythm, so we get a new season every year. Specifically from May until mid-July. Alright, cool. That answers one problem. Oh, it kind of answers one problem I was having. Huh. That's funny. Rick and Morty Season 8 came out May 25th last year. It's coming out May 24th this year. Literally a year apart. Happy Memorial Day to all of us, I guess. Hope you all like this video. Like, subscribe to the channel, follow social media. As always, I'm your home video for all you guys watching Joe Day. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Friday. And remember, if you guys want to talk to me, if you're here to lend me back, take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.